Oh, there's an aeroplane going over. God damn it. Hurry up. Hi guys. Today I am filming the controversial parenting tag because I've been tagged about 3 times now and I haven't done it yet. So I'm pulling my finger out and doing it. Lucy's just sneaking off into Brandon's bedroom. I've got my questions written down here, so I'm just gonna crack on. Number 1 is pro-life or pro-choice. I am pro-choice, I think, because there are people in certain circumstances that it would be the best thing to do. Obviously, I don't think abortion should be taken lightly, but there are certain circumstances where it's not actually okay to have a baby and bring it into that kind of environment. Now, some people's environments aren't the best and it was a complete pure accident, or it was happened through rape or something. I don't think you should go out on a night out, pull, get pregnant and then have an abortion, because I think if you're daft enough to do that, then you should see it through. But there are times when contraception fails and just, yeah, I think it depends on the individual at that time. Like, I fell pregnant with Brandon after being with Jamie for like 2 months and it was a complete accident. I was on the pill, the works. I very, very nearly went to the doctors to speak to them about an abortion when I fell pregnant with Brandon, because I hardly knew Jamie. I was 20, I didn't feel ready, and I was just like, what do I do? But then me and Jamie sat down and spoke about it and said, you know, we don't really agree with abortion and it was obviously meant to be, and I wouldn't have my Brandon now. So I'm pretty glad that I didn't. But yeah, I just think it's up to the individual and the circumstances. So I waffled on for ages then. Number 2 is baby wearing. I don't even think that's a controversial subject, is it? Is it? Well, I don't really see anything wrong with it. I baby wore with Brandon and Rosie. I didn't do it loads and loads, but I did do it because you need 2 hands sometimes and it's just easier. Yeah, and to be honest, when I was going out and about, like to the shops and stuff, I did prefer my buggy because I could stick all my shopping on it and stuff. But there are times when it's just easier just to carry a baby with your hands free. So I don't see a problem with that. I don't really know why people would have a problem with that, but. Number 3 is circumcision. We don't really do circumcision in this country, do we? Unless it's for medical reasons. Do we? I don't know, I don't think it's very common. Why would you want to put your kid through that? I don't have a problem with it if it's for medical reasons. I know sometimes it's done for religion. I just don't see any need other than that. So, yeah, I wouldn't do it to mine. I just think it's really unnecessary. Adoption. Who wouldn't be for adoption? Seriously. Because there's children out there who have been born, their birth parents aren't able to keep them for one reason or another. So I think it's pretty damn amazing that they can go and be adopted and live with some new parents. I went to school with a girl who was adopted and she sadly died last year actually. She was unlucky and got struck down with cancer, but she was lovely. She turned out just fine. She had a loving mum and dad. And yeah, it was great. I don't see any issue with adoption at all. I think it's fabulous. And I watch a YouTuber actually who was adopted, a little boy. She's called Jules Furnace. You probably all know who I'm on about because she's great. And I love watching her videos, and her little Joshie's she's just the cutest. You wouldn't even know that he wasn't her birth son, because their bond is like so normal, and like it is when you've got your own child. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I love watching them. Baby piercing. No, 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 no. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to put your baby through unnecessary pain. I mean, they can get their ears pierced or whatever when they're old enough to decide that they want it. I don't think I had my ears pierced until I was about 7 or 8, something like that. But your babies go through enough, like with the injections and all the stuff. Why would you want to put them through more pain? And like, babies' hands and arms go everywhere. Like, what if they were to grab it and pull it, or it get tangled up somehow? And it makes me cringe just thinking about that. Oh no. No. Breast milk versus formula milk. Well, we all know that breast is best, don't we? But I don't think there's anything wrong with formula feeding either. I've done both. I tried to breastfeed Brandon, and he was the most hungriest, stressiest baby you ever did meet. And I was like a new mum and didn't have a clue what I was doing, really. And I was really naive and daft. You know, when you're a new mum, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I tried for, I think it was about 2 weeks. It might not have even been that, actually. And in the end, I gave him formula milk and he was fine. He's turned out fine. I don't have anything against it. As long as you feed your baby, I don't think it matters. But I did breastfeed Rosie, and it was a lot easier. Like, you don't have to I was going to say fertilise your bottles. You don't have to sterilise your bottles. Yeah, you don't have any sterilising to faff about with and formula to buy. It's cheaper because you don't have to buy it. Because I remember with Brandon, it getting to like not late at night, but you know when you want to sit down and relax and you're like, oh my god, I've got a load of bottles to get ready and sterilise, and that was a right ball ache. But breastfeeding, it kills for the first, like, I think it's a couple of weeks. Absolutely, it's like I needed a pillow to bite on when she was latching on. But as soon as you get past that, it's great. You just whip it out whenever you fancy, and you don't have to think, oh god, I've got to take a bottle because she'll be needing feeding at this time. You've already got it ready and prepared to go. But I don't think that people who bottle feed should be judged, because not everyone's able to, not everyone wants to. So as long as you feed your baby, then that's good. Cry it out method. Nah. I've left both my kids crying when they were babies, but not like just leaving them and that's it. I've like put them to bed, left them to have a little cry and then gone back, and then left them to have a little cry and then gone back. Is that called control crying? I think I've done that, but I would never dream of leaving them to just cry and cry all night until they fell asleep. I'd feel too bad. I'd feel terrible, because I imagine someone putting me in a room and just leaving me there crying. No, you know, they need you, don't they? Obviously they've got to learn that bedtime is bedtime and all that, but leaving them to cry until they fall asleep, I don't like the thought of that. I mean, some parents do it and it works. I've got nothing against them. If it works for you, then yay. But I just feel too bad. I'd feel too guilty. I'd have to keep popping back in and being like, it's fine, it's just time for bed. You know, yeah, it's just not for me, that one. Spanking. I think this is American, because that reminds me of 50 Shades of Grey. We talk about smacking, not spanking. Right. I don't smack my kids, but I have lost my temper and slapped Brandon's hand before. I can't remember how old he was. It's not recently, but I have slapped his hand before. I can't remember why, or I can't remember, but I have. So for me, I think if my kids do something wrong and I smack them for it, then they're gonna think it's okay to smack somebody if they do something wrong. So if I feel like if I was to smack them, I'd be teaching them that that's how you behave, and I don't want them to think that that's okay, because it's not. If I was to pick them up from school and one of them had been in trouble for smacking somebody, I couldn't then be annoyed with them because I would be doing that at home. Does that make sense? But on the flip side of that, I know how testing kids can be and how they push your buttons until you are like this stark raving lunatic. I get that. So, I don't know, I mean, people was smacked a long time, like back in the day, weren't they? And they turned out all right, I suppose. But that's just another one that's not really for me. Co-sleeping. Yeah, why not? Rosie still comes into our bed and she's 6. Quite a lot of mornings, I wake up and she's fast asleep next to me, arms around me, legs around me, and I love it. Jamie doesn't like it so much, but they're only little ones, aren't they? So if they want to come in for a cuddle, they can come in for a cuddle. I'm not going to throw them out. So, yeah, and when Jamie works away, which he is next week, I'll probably have one child in my bed one night and one child in the other night. Because it's just, I love it. Why not? Homeschooling versus public school. I was public schooled. My kids are public schooled. If I could homeschool them, then I would. Because I don't drive, well, I am learning to drive, but I don't actually proper fully drive. I feel like we'd be a bit stranded here because of where we live. We live like in the middle of nowhere. I think you'd have to be like really motivated to homeschool as well. Like, you have to be on it, don't you, and make sure they're learning stuff. I mean, I do think in schools there are things that I don't agree with, like all the tests that they do, which don't benefit the kids at all. It's just for the bloody school's numbers and whatever. I don't like that. And I don't like how much pressure there is. Like, they don't go at the child's pace. That child has to go with the class's pace, if you know what I mean. And both my kids have a little bit of anxiety. Both of them do. More so Brandon, I think. But at the same time, I want them both to be in that social situation. I don't want them to become socially awkward. I'm for both, because I know some kids around here are homeschooled, and I know some kids are public schooled. So each to their own, really. Vaccinations. Well, yeah. If you don't vaccinate your kids, then you're a bit daft. Sorry. I mean, if I didn't vaccinate my kids, then I would feel absolutely terrible if they got ill with, like, I don't know, measles or something. I just think we all want to protect our kids. We all want to wrap them up in cotton wool and save them from the world, don't we? We all want to protect our kids. Vaccinating them is protecting them. So why wouldn't you do it? Just don't get it. I mean, I think it's a little bit selfish if you don't as well, because what if you didn't vaccinate your child and then they came into contact with something and they came into contact with something that could have been avoided, but also they've also been around like a pregnant person or a baby that is too young for its vaccinations yet, and then they've caught what your child had. I think that's just quite irresponsible, really. I might get judged for that, but that's what I think. If you want to protect your children, get them vaccinated. Yeah, it'll hurt for like a split second, but they're safer then. So if you don't do it, you're bloody daft. Medicating children. Well, yeah, within reason. Like, I've given my kids, both of them, Calpol, Nurofen, and antibiotics when they've had like infections and stuff. Brandon gets tonsillitis at least once a year, and he has to have antibiotics for that. He hates it, but it gets rid of it. I would rather give him medicine that tastes gross for like 5 seconds of his life than have him suffer for longer. And Rosie suffers with constipation, and she has to have little sachets put into a drink sometimes from the doctors to help her. I'd rather give her that than have her suffer. So I don't understand why you wouldn't. Obviously, don't just give them Calpol because they fancy it, or just give them Calpol to make them sleep or whatever. Give them it when they need it. But yeah, why not? What's next? Cloth versus disposable nappies. Well, when I had Brandon, I didn't even know there was such thing as disposable washable, what's it called? Cloth nappies. I didn't even know they even existed. But when I had Rosie, I found out about them when I was pregnant with her, and I was like, oh my God, they are so cute. They have all these little different patterns on them, and I went all out and I bought them. I bought the inserts, I bought the all the different patterned ones. I bought washable wipes. I bought the lot. No. My intentions went out the window, because the nappies, once you've put everything together and put them on, they made their bums look huge. She was like this tiny little baby with this massive bum. So I didn't like that, and I also didn't like the extra washing. I mean, who wants to wash pooey nappies? You just, no. So it didn't last very long. I ended up not using them at all and going straight back to disposables, because you just put them in the bin. I know it's not very good for the environment and all that, but it's easier. But having said that, the reusable washable wipes that I had, I'm sure they were like called cheeky wipes or something. They came in like a box, and then you had like another box for your mucky ones, and you soaked them in essential oils. I used them, but I didn't use them out and about. You had like a little carry case you could take them out with, but I used them at home, and I used them more for like washing Rosie's hands and face after she'd eaten and stuff. They were good. They were just like really soft flannels. I liked them. So I recommend cheeky wipes. I think that's what they're called. But washable nappies, well, if it works for you, it works for you. Good on you, because that's great. But they just made Rosie's bum look massive. And it wasn't cute. I thought that was going to be really cute, but I mean, there probably will be on some babies, but on Rosie, she just looks daft. And that's the end of my questions. So thank you very much for watching this, and I am going to tag, I'm going to tag my friend. She's Mrs. Doris, that's her channel name, and she's just starting up. So I'm going to link her channel in the description box. So click on it and go and give her some love, because I think she's got like 1 subscriber so far, which is me, because she's literally just started. So Doris, do this controversial parenting tag, please. Who else shall I tag? I'm trying to think of someone that I haven't actually seen do it. I think I haven't seen a little bit Lisa do it, but I could be wrong. So if you haven't done it, now you've been tagged. Is there anyone else? You, me and the kids, but I'm pretty sure I've watched yours. Yeah, I think I did. Anyway, if you've watched this, you're tagged. Thanks for watching. Bye. I forgot to say, I'm going to put all the questions in the description box. So, like I said before, if you've watched it, you're tagged, and you'll find all the questions there and the links to the people that I did actually tag. So, yeah.